It's time we get to this highly requested video. It's hero time. Today I'm going to be going over how I do my Omnitrix displays. It's a question I've been asked for quite some time, but the thing is, it's never been specified which Omnitrix. So I thought I'd just go through the main ones that the main continuity of the show has gone through. Starting with the original series. Now going over the whole process of what I do, I always have to make sure to have footage to edit, so record that first. Then after I load my clips into my editor, I like to use Wondershare Filmora. I've used it since pretty much close to the beginning that they've started. It's been so handy and helpful to me. Now I like to make sure all my assets are ready, so that way I have everything just loaded up and just drag and drop into my timeline. I like to get my blank display screen sized into place on top of the Omnitrix hourglass, just so that way I can for sure set where my main effect's going to be. I use motion tracking on the hourglass and display, so that way I have as close to the smoothest tracking and following that I can get, making sure that my display is on track. For the alien icons, I just grab images off of like character model sheets or basically whatever Google's got, and I just mess with the coloring so that way they just turn into silhouettes, and then I size them down into the little diamond, and I use keyframes to just make the motion of where I need them, when I need them, and how I want them to enter and leave. And towards the end, I like to add any little additional effects that I might think would help the little animation or just add to the effect. And of course, you have to make sure you have the sound. And I always find it a lot easier to have the visuals first and then go back later with sound. Onto the Alien Force display. For this one, I actually have fun with deciding if I want to use a CGI core or a physical one. The Omnitrixes that I've been able to use so far that are based off of Alien Swarm but also Alien Force have the option of both of these. So we of course got to make sure we have our footage recorded, load it into the editor, and have those assets ready. For the CGI core, you have to adjust it to the right size and make sure you have your motion tracking set on that hourglass. I always go for the middle of it, so that way it's just dead set center. Now add a hologram to the track so that way it's able to just go right along and you're able to just get that smooth, clean follow. Now with the CGI, you can either do two separate renders where you do a motion tracking on the physical watch, or you can keyframe it to try and match it, and then you can have a motion tracking on the CGI core in the second one, or just keyframe the hologram on top of the CGI core. And then if you have a physical core, you're only going to have to motion track the physical hourglass and then be able to link the hologram to it. And of course end it off with any extra effects to make it seem as better as you can make it, and then the sounds. For Ultimate Alien, it's pretty much the same thing as Alien Force, so I thought why not take the opportunity and turn it into an albedo edit. It's pretty much the exact same steps as the Alien Force one, but albedo's colors are different, so you can either mess with the RGB in settings, or you can use filters, so that way you can change the color of your holograms. Now, of course, the Omnitrix makes different sounds, so make sure you have the correct sounds for the correct device. For Omniverse, it's a little bigger. Make sure you have all your recordings done, have all your assets. You're going to need more assets for this one though. Once you got that editor loaded up, you're going to have to motion track onto that Omnitrix. Sometimes you can motion track your own fingers, sometimes if you want to get just the Omnitrix itself. It just depends on your preference. Now there's two ways to do this. For the wheel, you can either do a separate edit where you just make the wheel scrolling all on its own with the alien icon displays, or you can do it all at once. I try to do it all at once to save on time, but I am going to start making that switch just for quality. But for this video, I'm going to show you how I have been doing it. Now the wheel needs 5 aliens. 2 that have been already cycled through, the 2 next ones, and then the 1 that is about to be selected. I have each alien on their own separate layer, so that way they can be keyframed at different moments at the same time. As each alien icon leaves the wheel and enters the wheel, I always do a little fade away, so that way it's a little bit more kind of pleasing rather than it just blipping away. And then finish it off with some little effects and sound, and you have your transitions from Omnitrix Display to Alien. That's how I do it. Of course, every Omnitrix could be different depending on OCs or just however you guys want to do it. But this is just how I've been doing it. And of course, there's always room for improvement, and I definitely see the improvement that I can do, and I will be working on it. So stay tuned to see these foreign projects, and let me know down below if there's anything else you want to see, or if you're curious about and have more questions that I didn't get to in my Q&A. So, have a great day. It's hero time.